Welcome, viewers, to yet another episode of Stumbling and Fumbling. Today is a very special day. It's not just me and Appy, but we have Indrashish Chatterjee with us. Indrashish is a friend from school, but for his quick introduction, Indrashish runs a web development company called Bariza Software Solutions, where they provide end-to-end software services, app development, web development, optimization of your website. Also, Indrashish is a man of many facets. He runs an NGO called Indian Women and Youth Skill Foundation. We'll talk about more of what that means in a second. And he also owns a portal called Bidhannagar Times, which gives you your daily news. So Indrashish, that's a long introduction. We'll talk about social work today. Welcome. Why don't you
Okay.
talk a little bit about your social work first, about Indian Women and Youth Skill Foundation?
Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for the introduction. It's wonderful to hear so many nice things about myself. It took some time for me to realize I actually do so many things. Uh, well, going back to your question, Indian Women and Youth Skill Foundation. Actually, this is a foundation which I incorporated in the year 2016. And the entire motto of this foundation is to go ahead and support those who need that kind of support to go ahead and survive in the society. Uh, Consider, let's say, for example, there in the current scenario, the ratio of unemployment is huge, and as a result, during the lockdown, there are a lot of families who are actually facing a lot of problem in running their regular day-to-day activity, or rather buying their regular grocery, or running their basic livelihood. So during this time, during lockdown, my foundation, we actually went ahead and took care of around 10 families. And not only that, we arranged for, food for 100 people. And also, till date, we are actually working with various corporates, and we are arranging for monthly ration uh, for them, so that we can support these families while they get back on their feet. Not only that, this foundation also takes care of around 200 girl children uh, who are belonging from the families which are below poverty level. So we are actually trying to go ahead and work together so that we can generate a better future for this country, because it's pretty easy to go ahead and to criticize the present situation, but this is the initiative that I've taken so that we can work towards making the change. So it's about bringing the change.
Yeah, this is so refreshing to actually hear and see someone working on the ground, because typically the most that you hear is, yes, I donated this much money to this charity and so be it. People are really busy. They want to succeed in their careers. So a question for you, at what point of time did you decide that you want to devote your time and you want to actually do something for the society? Like, what triggered in your mind that caused you to take this decision?
Right. So, see, it didn't happen. I did not really think about it like that. What happened is that it was in the year, I believe, 2016 only, or early, or during the time of Christmas. I was in the traffic. I went to meet few of my friends, and they were kind of celebrating a particular achievement that I had. Because in the year 2015, my startup was selected as my IT section that was selected as one of the top 10 startup from a startup recognized platform. Now, what happened is that while coming back, I was I was in my car, and I was stuck in the traffic. There was a little girl who came and knocked at my door, and on asking what exactly is she wanting to convey, she just wanted, she didn't want money. She wanted to go ahead and he wanted me to go ahead and buy some food for her. So what I did is that I went ahead and stopped the car, and I bought a few edibles for her. And when I did that, the entire achievement which I had previously by being, because I really worked hard to make my startup work, to be recognized from Eastern Zone and getting whatever recognition I had got, which I celebrated a few minutes ago. But again, the entire thing was not even close to 1% of the happiness I actually achieved by going ahead and treating that girl. So that day I decided that
Wonderful.
if I go ahead and, do it on the larger scale, to go ahead and support people who really need it, and that's the main reason I actually went forward with this particular foundation. I worked towards it.
Excellent. So that's very interesting and obviously very, very gracious of you, Indrashish. As you have been running this, NGO for a while, what are some of the ways in which the government has helped you in your endeavors?
Well, as you see, when you are working for people, you really need to be backed by the government. And in my case, I would say the state government has gone ahead and helped us a lot. We started like a primary school for children. Near Eastern Bypass, there is a slum called Bobiatola. So there we started like a preschool, not the primary school. It's a preschool that we started for children who are between 2 to 5 years old. And to go ahead and incorporate that, to go ahead and to run the entire operation, obviously there was immense support from the government side. Other than that, we are part of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. It's the government body to go ahead and support government schools, where we are going ahead and taking care of different schools, where we are looking after various children out there who belong from the BPL background. So interaction with the Karigori minister that we know as Punendu Boshu. So we have been interacting with various sections of the government, and they have been extremely supportive and encouraging us to go ahead and take more projects, to go ahead and take care of a lot of people out there.
Yeah, this is fascinating because the fact that you've been able to foster a relationship with the government, that the fact government is helping you. Now, on to the flip side of this question, it's been a journey for about 4.5 years, and I'm sure that you've had your fair share of struggles, frustration, when you might have questioned what's the benefit in doing all this. Like, can you enlighten some of our viewers with some of the challenges you faced?
See, the major challenge that one faces on today's date, if he or she is running an NGO or a foundation, is that, most of the people go ahead and relate a foundation or an autonomous body who is working on these fields with fraudulent activities. And that's a huge challenge for anybody who is trying to do something in this particular field, because you need people coming and joining you. You need people going ahead and being part of your mission, who can actually go ahead and support you in your goal that you are trying to go ahead and achieve. The biggest challenge is that whenever you go up to people and tell that, you don't ask for money, even if you go ahead and ask for, to help you to go ahead and provide, because my foundation, we do not take donations in terms of money. We go ahead and arrange for drives where individuals can go ahead and provide stuffs in kinds to the people who are going to take those stuffs from them. So we keep it as much genuine as possible, but still there are people who do say that, okay, it's a very good initiative, they appreciate it, but again, when it comes to go to support you towards your goal and achieving the mission, they do not really come forward. That's the biggest challenge. Other than that, regular day-to-day activities and frustration, if you consider, there's nothing called frustration in this part, because I do this foundation work for my own. It satisfies me, because I go ahead and donate certain part from my income, from my other business ventures on this particular section, because it satisfies me when you see someone who is benefiting out of whatever you are providing. Not providing will be the very wrong term, but you're trying to go ahead and support that individual. and the way you nurture, and that takes out a positive result, or it brings a positive outcome, it gives you immense satisfaction. Like last month we went ahead and arranged, like my foundation, we are arranging for treatment for poor children. We arranged, there was a girl who had heart ailment, and we arranged funds for her heart operation. So we actually did that. And in the end of the day, we do not gain anything out of it, but you know in the end of the day, the kind of satisfaction that we receive, it's I cannot go ahead and explain myself out here.
Yeah, that's really wonderful, Indrashish. So that brings me to an interesting question that, based on what you just said, let's say I want to donate money to an NGO in India. How do I do it? How do I know if they're fraudulent or if they're genuine?
Okay. First of all, an NGO, you are in Canada right now. So, uh, like if you are based in Canada or USA, an NGO will be eligible to take donation from you in international currency once they have FCRA. And there are a lot of criteria the NGO needs to have to go ahead and qualify for it. Right now, under present government, there are a lot of strict rules and regulations. So there is very less possibility of an NGO of being or rather being operated under any kind of fraudulent act. But again, to ensure that everything is whatever you're donating, the work is going on properly, you can always go ahead and want to see how exactly your money is being spent. And I'm sure whether if you consider any big NGO out here in India, they will be fine sharing how exactly your money is being spent, because in the end of the day, you have every right to see the amount that you are donating, where exactly that amount is going.
That's fair. So one of the things that I've seen is, like, when I, try to donate, I try to see if I have any contacts so that I know the people involved, that they're the real deal. Like during the cyclone that happened in Bengal, I know that some alumni from my undergrad were arranging something, right? So I knew that it was being spent in the right way. What about India? Like, apart from word of mouth or personal connections, or if you're sending money from abroad, you mentioned the ways we can check. What about India? If someone started to donate from India, how do they ensure that it's the real deal that they're paying the money to?
See, you have to see the credibility of the organization whom you are donating the money. And how do you do that? Uh, you need to go ahead and see their past projects on which they have worked. Like I can say that if you check our past work, we have worked with various MNC like L&T for their CSR activities. You need to see what kind of projects they are working on, how exactly the money that they are getting in terms of donation, how exactly that money is being used to go ahead and generate results or generate some kind of activity which is actually helping the community. So there would be certain information that should be there on their website. Uh, and if not on their website, for on their Facebook page, for sure, because nowadays everybody they believe in going ahead and displaying the kind of activities they are performing or they are doing over their website or on their Facebook page. For sure they are doing it.
Amazing, great. So that was a very good discussion. And Appy, any concluding thoughts?
Yeah, so a couple of things. I mean, Indrashish, just because a lot of viewers might be watching it, if at all, let's say from within India or from outside the country, if any of us want to support your NGO, like as you said, we cannot probably donate you directly money. Like, what could be one or a couple of ways in which a few of us can try to support your NGO?
That's a very good question. Well, you see, what happens is that one can always be part of our NGO. I always ask people to be, to join our volunteer team, because, it gets difficult when we are working for so many people. It gets difficult for us to arrange the work, and even for, hiring people in this particular section. So obviously the volunteership is there. Other than that, if an individual is looking forward, we are not interested. Okay, if one wants to go ahead and donate stuffs financially, the person is welcome, but we are more keen on donation in terms of kind. For example, if you want to finance food or meal, or for example, if you want to finance, let's say right now there's lockdown, but let's say when there's not there's the situation is better. If you want to go ahead and finance, around 100 children to go ahead and watch movie in the theater. So stuffs like that are always welcome, which actually takes a long way.
Okay, and I just had one other question because, and we can conclude after that. You mentioned the word lockdown, and I don't think I asked you this question, which I wanted to. How has this whole pandemic situation changed or altered the way that you are doing work? Because now it's been going on for a substantial period of time. It is not going to end in the next 2 months, like we are well aware of that fact. So, what were those challenges, and how are you managing these times?
Well, that's a very good question. Well, it's pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult because I'll tell you my experience. Like during the pandemic, we were, as I told you at the very beginning of the interview, that we were taking care of approximately around 8 to 10 families. Uh, Now, what we used to do is that we used to provide like food for them every week, and out of those 8 to 10 families, 2 families had pregnant women. They were expecting kids, and you know what? The pregnant women, they needs a lot of nutrition. So we were actually like our everybody has limitation. We had limitation to take care of around 8 to 10 families. And what the biggest challenge that we have seen that COVID-19 has brought is, you know, if you consider people like you and me, we always have something to fall back on. But there is a large scale of people out there who depend on day-to-day earning. And those people have suffered the most. Even now, there are people who do not have jobs. People are scared. If you consider who are actually working as a regular day-to-day maid servant or maids, let's put it in this way, most of the households, they are not allowing them to go ahead and work in their home. As a result, there is huge unemployment in that particular section. And but again, the expenses are there for them as well. So what we do is that we try to go ahead and provide for these people. And the biggest challenge during the lockdown that we face is to arrange for to provide the stuffs to them, because what happens is that during the lockdown, you're not allowed to like arrange. You cannot call the people, and you cannot say that, okay, you guys come around 11 o'clock and collect all the edibles from here. What you do is that you kind of have to visit them and deliver the stuff to them. So it's been challenging, but I feel that if we stand beside each other, uh, no challenge is big enough to, we can conquer everything coming our way. That's simple as that.
That is wonderful. And on that note, we will conclude the interview. Viewers, if you have any questions for Indrashish, any follow-up questions, please feel free to type in the comment section below. We will also put the links to Indrashish's different endeavors in the description of our video. And please like, comment, share, subscribe as usual. We will soon come with more and more episodes. So goodbye from Stumbling and Fumbling.
Goodbye.
Thanks.